Guys, this is Mary. Welcome back to Cardz TV. We're going to make a quick card today using Elegant Edges and the New Testament cartridge. And we're also going to be using one of my new stamp sets, Easter Blessings. And we're going to use the scripture right here. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119, 105. And there's several scriptures on this set, but this is the one we're going to be using today, and we'll use the Elegant Edges for our sentiment mat. And then I cut an image that's going to go on the front from the New Testament cartridge. And I'm really sad right now because as soon as I got done cutting the image, my Cricut stopped recognizing this cartridge. It says there's no cartridge in there. And I've done everything I know and it will not work. So I've got to give Provocraft a call because I love this cartridge. And I hope they're going to replace it for me because I really, really love it. But let me get everything out of the way and we'll get started on today's card. Now our card base is this really, really pretty green. And it's not showing up too well on this green mat, is it? But it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And on top of that, we're going to layer this kind of violet blue mat, and it matches the color in this pattern paper on this little leaf right here. I thought that was so pretty together. But this is 4 by 5 1/4, and these cardstocks are from Basil. This pattern paper is from K & Company, and I think that's so pretty. It looks very kind of antique or vintage looking, I think. But this piece is cut at 3 3/4 by 4 1/2, and it's going to layer on just like that. And we're going to have a strip of the blue violet showing at the bottom, and that's because if you saw my Q-tip number 6, I showed you how to make this faux vintage lace out of vellum, and we're going to put that right down here at the bottom. I think that looks so pretty. I hope y'all can see that. Can you see how that looks? So I'm going to go ahead and get all these layered on. I'm going to put these two together, and because this is vellum, I'm not going to put any adhesive on the front. I'm just going to put some on the back, and then I can wrap the ends of the vellum around to the back and secure it in that way. And then there won't be any adhesive showing through. So I'll go ahead and get these layered together, and then after I do that, we'll put this on the front of the card. And we're going to use our ATG gun and get this put together. Really quick card. I've got these adhered together, and I've put some ATG tape on either side here, and we're going to line up our faux lace on the front, and I want the scallops to be evenly spaced, and I want it to show just a little bit on the pattern paper. And when I get it exactly where I want it, I'm just going to fold this one side around to the back, and it'll go ahead and stick in the ATG tape, and get this other side lined up and do the same with that. And now we have our faux vellum lace on the front, and it's adhered on the back, but you can't see any adhesive. And I just love the look of that. I think that's so pretty. Now we'll go ahead and get this on our card base. And I'll give you a link to the Q-tip that tells you how to make this faux lace. It's just something I came up with late one night. I needed some lace, and I just got a light bulb over my head and thought, I'll give that a try. Okay, here's our card base. Now, we've got our sentiment from the Easter Blessings stamp set from Cardz TV. We're going to put that right there. And I used Elegant Edges. And this shape is called Leaves, and that's on page 29. And I cut the ivory sentiment mat out of the oblong right here, and I cut that at 2.5 inches, and then I used that same blue, that's this background mat, and cut the shadow also at 2.5 inches, and I layered those together and then stamped my scripture on there. That's going right there. And then out of the New Testament cartridge, I've cut this Bible, and it's going to go right there. And I've got this on 2 thicknesses of foam tape, so it's going to stand up. It's going right there. That's on page 70, and it's got several layers to it. Let's see. There's the base that you cut out of brown, and then the part that would be the pages of the Bible you cut out of ivory. Then there's this gold layer, which is showing through, and it looks like the lines on the side of the Bible, and it's showing through the cross. Then you cut the top of the Bible again out of brown, and then here is the bookmark and the cross, the blue cross, and this is the same blue as this mat and the shadow for our scripture. And I cut all of this at 2.5 inches. And I'm just so sad about my cartridge. I just hope they replace it. This is the most awesome cartridge, and I know I told you all that before, but it really is. But all that was at 2.5 inches. I need to stop whining, don't I? Just get on with the card, Mary. Now, I wanted to add something else right up there. So I cut out 2 butterflies using my Martha Stewart butterfly punch. I cut one out of the same blue, and then I cut one out of vellum, and I ran this through the Cuttlebug Swiss Dots folder, and it looks like a little polka dot, very thin layer on top. So my butterfly has lots of dimension, and then I used a little oval flat back pearl on there, and that's going to go right there. So I'm going to get all of this adhered to the front of the card and come back and we'll take a look at it. Here's our finished scripture card. I just love this image from the New Testament cartridge, and I love this faux lace, and I am going to give you a link to that Q-tip so you can see how to do that in case you want to give it a try. And I think this butterfly up here was just what it needed up in that corner. Thanks so much for coming by today, guys. I'll see you again really soon with another card. Bye now.